Hey guys, I'm gonna be making a totally unedited video right now for this channel. Just thought I would be very real and upfront for this video, instead of editing anything out. So some of you might be wondering, and I have seen some questions recently about the direction I'm going with this channel, just the channel in general, and just my thoughts about where I stand with One Direction, if I'm still a fan, if I still like them, just my thoughts about the band and the boys in general. And I think it's a very good question because a lot of you might see that I'm not posting as much anymore, like regarding the One Direction news. And I totally understand why you would have those questions because it might seem like I'm not engaged as much in the fandom as much anymore. Well, to answer that for this video, you are correct, but not correct at the same time. It's kind of like a yes and a no. Like, it's not a definitive answer. It's not a black and white thing. So basically, yes, I have grown up a lot. I've also been busy with my job, and I've also been very occupied with a lot of things going on in my personal life, whether it be relationship-wise or just myself. And this year's been crazy anyway with COVID and all of that. So just with all of that going on, and just being, me having a full-time career as well, it can be very hard to keep up on all the One Direction news and all that. But also, I'd like to add that there really hasn't been a lot of One Direction news as well. Like I said, this year's kind of weird, with COVID going on. So One Direction aren't really doing much. I probably shouldn't even say One Direction because they're not like a band, they're solo. So I should just say Harry, Louis, them individually. But you guys know what I mean. But they're not out really doing a lot. And if they are out, they're wearing a mask and staying just with a few people, like they're staying secluded. So I don't really see any news to report on since there really isn't any. The boys are trying to stay safe, which they should be. They're not really going out and doing anything interesting. I'm aware that Harry is doing like a music video for Golden, but I don't really want to make a video about that until the video comes out, because we've all just seen the pictures. But regardless of all that, I just really think that I'd just like to reassure you guys that yes, I still like Harry Styles. I still like Louis Tomlinson. And I'll have to admit here that I'm more into Harry and Louis than the rest of the boys. I think you guys know that I always have been on this channel. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and be like, I like all the boys equally. I used to say that, and okay, maybe at the time that was true, but currently, right here, 2020, I really only listen to Harry Styles music and Louis Tomlinson music out of all the boys. I'm not saying their music is bad. No, it's not. I've listened to Niall's music. It's great. Liam's music is great too. So is Zayn's. But in terms of my own personal music taste, it really more aligns with Louis' music and Harry's music. So, I've just always been more into them. So if there is news, I just talk about Harry and Louis. But I don't want you guys to think that, I am not interested in Harry and Louis anymore, or that I don't like them. I still am a huge, huge fan of Harry Styles. He's always been my idol. And I'm still a huge fan of Louis Tomlinson as well. So it's not that I don't like them anymore. It's just that there's just a lot of things that I just don't see important to report on as much anymore. I just don't think it's that relevant to talk about, or it's not really a big topic. And honestly, sometimes I just don't feel like talking about it, I also wanted to say something kind of new in this video that I don't think I've ever talked about before on my channel. Going back to what I was saying about me growing as a person and changing, in a good way, I would just like to put out there, just so you guys aren't wondering, I will not be talking about the girlfriends anymore on my channel. I will not be talking about Eleanor. and conspiracies about Louis and his relationship with Eleanor. I will not be talking about really like Harry and whoever he's with. I'll not be talking about like Liam and whoever he's with or whatever. Then again, like I said, I only talk about Harry and Louis, so I probably won't talk about Liam and his relationships. Anyway, but what I'm just trying to say is, at my age of 23 right now, and just the experiences I've been through in my life, I'm not that 17, 18-year-old in my room anymore, blabbing on and on and on and ranting on and on about whether Eleanor is real, whether Louis's baby is real. And what I mean by real is like if it's a real relationship or like a valid relationship or whatever. Obviously Eleanor is a real person. Obviously. But I just I don't like that energy. When I look back on my old videos, I really cringe when I watch myself of like just talking about the boys' relationships. Like, I understand when you ship two people together, like Harry and Louis, of course you're gonna like come after the girlfriends and you're gonna question whether that's real or not. I'm not saying our evidence was wrong or anything back then, but for myself, you guys can do whatever you want, but I don't feel comfortable speculating about Louis and his relationship with whoever he's with. So if it's Eleanor, fine. I really don't care. I just want Louis to be happy. So if Louis is with Eleanor, I don't care. I'm not going to be speculating and also like saying all this rude stuff about, well, I've never really said rude stuff about Eleanor before, but I don't think it's nice, and it's also not good energy to really be like putting down who the boys are with and to like speculate. I think that's kind of weird. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's rude or weird to ship Larry. Obviously, I still like Louis and Harry's relationship together, whatever they are. I think they've always been cute. I think that they had something, they had chemistry, whatever. But I don't want to comment on Louis' relationships anymore if Eleanor and him are real. I don't want to talk about whether Louis really has a kid or not. In my opinion, it does seem like that kid is Louis, and I'm happy for Louis that he has a kid. He's not with Brianna, so that was just a slip up, you know? It happens, but he has a kid, and Freddie's really cute. I don't think that should be a problem, you know? So I'm done speculating about the Louis' kid. I'm done speculating about Louis' relationships with women. I'm done speculating about Harry and whoever he's with. The boys can be with whoever they want, you know? And that's just kind of how I feel about it. And I feel like it's just taken me years to get to that point because there's so many other things in my life that I have gone through and I'm dealing with. And there's just so many really bad things going on in the world and just very confusing and weird things. And when you put everything in perspective, it's like, why do I care who Louis is with? Why do I care who Harry's with? I should be caring about my own life and my own future and like things going on in the world that are actually important. You know what I mean? Like fandom life aside. So that's just kind of why I'm not putting that energy into those topics anymore. I'm okay talking about what Harry's doing in his career, like everything that Harry's doing with his music, his acting, same with Louis. And I think that's what we should all focus on. If we really love the boys, we should just focus on what they're good at, like their music, their acting, because that's what defines them. Like that's their career. That's why we like them. That's why they're here, you know? Like aside from their awesome personalities and good looks and all that, you know, they're just great musicians. So I want to focus more on that aspect of Harry and Louis and not so much of who they're dating and like what's real and what's not. I just don't think that that's good energy, and it gets very toxic and negative. But basically what inspired me to make this video was just a lot of drama channels that I see on YouTube who put this negative energy out there, gossiping about YouTubers and saying negative things about them and spewing information that might not be true and trying to cancel people and all that. I've just found that there's a lot of drama channels out there who report on news just like I have in the past with One Direction, and these certain people who I see talking about it I really see my old self in them. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I cringe when I see my old videos. So the fact that I see my old self in their videos, it just doesn't give me a very good feeling. And I just don't think it's good energy. I think we should be spreading positivity, just like Harry Styles wants us to, obviously, and not be spewing out anything negative about the boys in their relationship. So if you guys see a change in content on my channel or me not talking about certain topics anymore, that is why. I just wanted to let you guys know the direction of my channel that I'm going in, how I've kind of changed as a person, and my whole entire mindset, of what I think about the boys and my channel and all that. I know this video is kind of rambly, but then again, it's unedited. Sorry about that. I just don't feel like editing this. So hopefully you guys understand. If you want to still stay a fan of me, I appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the bell, like the video. But if you're just not interested in this content anymore, or what I decide to put out on this channel, you don't have to stay. You don't have to subscribe. I really don't care. I kind of only want people watching my video if they're really interested or if they really like me. So I'm not forcing anyone to watch my videos. Stay here if you'd like. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, and stay positive. Love you guys.